What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fat Loss Friday, or if I'm being honest, I should probably rename the series to Driving with Ace, because I feel like every time I'm recording for this vlog, I'm driving in the car. But you know what? This is a good, peaceful place for me, believe it or not. I have my car here, and I'm starting my pickups in a couple of minutes, but I always have a little bit of in-between time. So right now it's early, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I got about 30 minutes to go grab my cup of coffee. I have the choice to either hit up Starbucks or Chock-full of Nuts, but I'm gonna go to Chock-full of Nuts today, despite the fact that I like Starbucks a whole lot more. Chock-full of Nuts is on my way to work, and it's a little bit more convenient, so I'm probably gonna do that today. Yeah, let's talk about the fat loss journey and how's it been going. I haven't updated this playlist in a month now. I initially planned on doing it every 2 weeks, releasing a new episode of Fat Loss Friday, but it looks like for the time being I'm going to be sticking to once a month maybe, because I feel like it doesn't really make sense to do it every 2 weeks, especially since my fat loss progress is plateaued and it's kind of yo-yoing. So I feel like once a month is a better indicator of overall progress. Now, the last time I weighed myself, I was at about 285 or so. I'm going to be weighing myself tomorrow morning, and we'll see if I dropped anything or not. It's been a bit of an inconsistent month, if I'm being honest. I'm definitely holding myself more accountable going forward. I haven't been super strict when it comes to logging because I've just had a lot of things going on. I had a couple of, about a week and a half off of work. So I visited my mom during that time, and you know, every time I visit mom, there's always good food, and it's always difficult to control myself when I'm there on my little getaway. And between that and we had nice weather here for a couple of days, so been grilling a little bit in the backyard, been having a couple of beers, nothing too crazy. I usually like having one beer when I grill, but you know, it's something that I associate with barbecues. You know, I gotta have a Sam Adams when I'm grilling. It's just, it is what it is, guys. You gotta live life a little bit, but I've really been focused on the strength training, and I feel like I gotta focus more on cardio, and I know they go hand in hand. I do try to do cardio sometimes at the end of my workout. I try getting in about maybe 20 minutes of cardio, 25 minutes of cardio. I'm always putting the incline really high, so I'm either doing the bicycle or the elliptical machine. I'm a big fan of both, not really so much a fan of the treadmill. If I ever do use the treadmill, I'm gonna put the incline way up high at like 6 or 7, and I just do power walking on there, and I alternate for, you know, like 30-40 seconds. I'll put it on like 6 or 7, and I'll just sprint for 30 seconds until my heart rate is shot, and then I'll put it back on incline, you know. So I do my own little custom cardio setting, and really cardio was what helped me lose a lot of the weight when I was in my best shape 2.5 years ago, whatever it was, during the Planet Fitness days, where man, I looked really good. And it's crazy to think that a mere 15 to 20 pounds could have such an impact on your physique. It's really crazy if you think about it, you know. Now I'm at about 280-ish, right? 280, 285, been hovering at that range for a long time. And in Planet Fitness, I was at like 260, 265. So yeah, let's round it off to 20 pounds. So that 20 pounds made such a crazy freaking difference in my physique. It's insane to think about. And I really want to get back to it, man. I really, really do. My arms got bigger since then. I've definitely put on mass, but I've also put on a little bit of fat. So I got a good upper body frame, and the midsection is really my weak point. I got very muscular, big, strong legs. I got a good upper body frame, but then I carry fat in my chest area, in the belly, and in the handles. You know, that's genetic in my family, and biologically speaking, most guys will carry weight over there. That's the last place to go when you're losing the fat. So it's just a matter of being consistent and sticking to the diet, eating clean, not eating late at night, and just exercising. That's really, it goes hand in hand. And for me, that's where it gets a little difficult. I don't have a problem with breakfast and lunch when I'm in my, you know, when I'm in my job and I have my work schedule. It's very easy for me to maintain that lifestyle. I'll have my cup of coffee in the morning before work. I'll have my second coffee on the way to work, protein shake at work. If I'm hungry, half a bowl of oatmeal if I even have time. Sometimes I don't even have time for that oatmeal. But then during lunch, I keep it very simple, usually around 400 calories or so. I really got into the water noodles lately. It's been a lot of fun having those water noodles. They're about 40-50 calories. They taste pretty decent. Just lather it up with some hot sauce, and I crumble in a little bit of tuna or chicken breast, some veggies, and you're good to go. You got yourself a good, solid, semi-high protein lunch. It's not bad. My problem is when I get home from the gym, and it's almost like I want to reward myself for a day of suffering, and eating clean. And at night, that's when I'm gonna indulge and have my big meals. So I like treating myself. I'll get myself a steak, I'll get myself, sometimes if they're affordable, I'll get myself some lamb chops, or, you know, a piece of salmon steak or whatever. And therein lies the problem. You know, I gotta extend that suffering to also go through the evening. And that's sometimes where it gets a little troublesome for me. You know, I try to make a lot of healthy substitutions. I got myself that sugar-free Jell-O, you know, the prepackaged Jell-O cups that are like 20 or 30 calories each. I got my sugar-free popsicles, but then again, I can eat like 10 to 12 of those easily. They're 15 calories each, but it all adds up. And my body's in this weird plateau state right now, and it's been like this for, man, like 6 or 7 months. And it's annoying because I'm really putting myself through a lot here, and I don't know, I'm just not really dropping on the scale. Maybe I'm recomping, but it's hard to tell. When you're staring yourself in the mirror every single day, it's hard to tell if you put on an extra pound or two of muscle. It's very hard to tell. So, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I see people in the gym that I don't see for a week or two at a time, and they're gonna tell me, oh man, you look like you bulked up a little bit, you put on a little bit of muscle. Like, I don't know. I see myself in the mirror every single day, so I don't know. It could be my body's recomping, and I know that the scale itself is not the only indicator of whether you're making progress or not, but there's always going to be that association with the scale. There's always going to be that obsession with the number, and I know it's not the best and healthiest thing to do, but it is what it is. You know, you have an ideal number in mind. For me personally, I would like to get down to 240. That's where I see myself. I think that would be a healthy weight for me. I'm 6'4". 240 for me. If I was at like 22% body fat, I'd be happy with that. I'm not trying to get shredded. I'm not trying to get abs. I don't even find abs to be aesthetically pleasing personally. If I would have like an outline of abs, just a very thin outline, I would be okay with that. But I just want to have a flat stomach, man. I want to have a flat stomach, big muscular upper body, strong legs, and a good physical, aesthetic, good-looking physique. That's really my goal. So I've been trying a couple of things, been dabbling with a few fat burners. I just got that Panda Cuts, came in not too long ago, and I like that one at 1 cap. It's really good. You know, the problem with a lot of these DMHA fat burners is that it's too intense. And, you know, if I'm taking a DMHA fat burner, it's going to put me almost in fight or flight mode where I want to train, but I can't train because I'm going to work. I'm sedentary, I'm sitting, I'm driving as I am right now, clearly. So it's kind of hard for me to take a DMHA fat burner like Lipodrine or the ECA Extreme or Hydroxy Elite. I mean, there's so many of these crazy fat burners. It's difficult for me to take one of those fat burners and then, you know, I'm driving or I have to interact with people and I'm hopped up. I got to do stuff, and ideally those fat burners are better to take before you go to the gym to do cardio or even like a leg session or something. So I don't know, I'm kind of weaning off the DMHA fat burners unless it's being used to work out. But I like the Panda Cuts, man. That one only has, if you take it at 1 cap, I think it's only 1 milligram of alpha-O, and the rest is just fat-burning, thermogenic, increasing ingredients, 150 milligrams of caffeine, so it's not too much, doesn't get me jittery. So I like that one. That one's really good, but I actually started just 3 days ago. I'm only 3 days into it, but I started running the ECA stack again, the classic traditional ephedrine, caffeine, and aspirin in the morning. So for me, that works best. I'm telling you guys, sometimes the simplest things work the best. So all these fat burners with all these crazy ingredients, all these prop blends, whatever, man, none of that stuff touches just the classic ECA stack. So I did an ECA video on the YouTube channel when I first rebranded it. It was doing really well, but I took it down because a good friend of mine reached out to me. He said it's probably not the best idea to have that kind of content up. You don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, etc., etc. So I posted the video on my cloud. If you guys are interested in watching my ECA video that I recorded like 6 months ago, you can shoot me a message on Instagram at HighStimAce, and I'll give you the link so you guys can watch. It's like a 22-minute video, but it goes in depth and detail how you can get ephedrine legally and run an ECA stack for beginners. So I'm on the ECA stack right now. I'm going to be running this probably for the next 2.5 months. And I feel good, man. I feel really, really good. It's not overstimulating. I don't feel jittery. I don't have that crazy locked-in focus like I'm taking an illicit product like Oxymelt. You know, it feels just right. You know, like I'm on 6.5 hours of sleep right now, maybe even less, maybe 6 hours of sleep, but I feel good. I feel like I got 8.5 hours. I feel ready to take on the day. I just pulled up in front of the Chock full of nuts, about to go in and get my coffee, and that's it. just one Bronchi tablet in the morning, 100 milligrams of caffeine, a baby aspirin, because I don't want to take the full dose, so the 81 milligram dose of aspirin. Take that in the morning, drink lots of water, and then I just have my second cup of coffee to really enhance those effects for the rest of my drive, because I'm going to be driving for the next hour, so I got some pickups to do here before I get to my job, and to me it's perfect. And then I take one also in the afternoon. I'll take just 100 milligrams of caffeine and the second Bronchi tablet in the afternoon, right after lunch. So I'm gonna have a small lunch, have the second dose of the ECA stack, and that's it. I don't take a third dose. I don't think a third dose is necessary, especially because I'm reviewing pre-workouts and whatnot. So I don't think it's necessary to take a third dose. It's overkill, in my opinion. Again, I talk about all these things in my ECA stack review, how-to guide. You guys can request. I'll give you the link on Google Drive. Just shoot me a message on HighStim. Shoot me a message on Instagram at HighStimAce, and I'll hook you guys up. You guys go watch that video. Keep it. It's a good video. I'm really proud of it. I'm sad I had to take it down, but it is what it is. Always better to err on the side of caution when it comes to YouTube, especially with the algorithm being as crazy as it is. But that's it, guys. I'm going to show you a little bit of footage. I went swimming a couple of days ago. I went to the sauna, the Russian bathhouse here in Brooklyn. It was a great experience. Went with my girlfriend, and I was doing laps, man. I felt really great. I took the Insane Cuts pre-workout / fat burner powder, and that thing has crazy potent alpha-O, and it gets you going. So I took that stuff. I was swimming, I did some laps, I was sweating, hit the sauna, steam room. It was great. So that's it, guys. That's my little update. I'm gonna weigh myself a little bit later tonight and have this video up hopefully by tomorrow, and we shall see. Hopefully I made a little bit of progress. If I didn't, then I didn't. It is what it is. I'm still staying on the path. The body works in a weird way. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you could literally not see results for weeks and months, and then suddenly, like, you're gonna be down 5-6 pounds. It's weird. My body's weird like that anyway. But that's it, guys. That's the little update as of now. There hasn't been much else going on. I've kind of been stuck in my routine, going to work, focusing on YouTube, gym, and all that other fun stuff. So I will keep you guys posted until the next episode. Alright, guys, so this footage is taken from about a week ago. I went to the banya over here. In case you guys don't know what a banya is, it's a Russian bathhouse where they have saunas, steam rooms, and this one happens to have a really nice, clean swimming pool. I gotta tell you right off the rip that this thing was freezing cold, and when I say freezing, I mean I was literally shivering. Usually, even if you jump in a cold pool, you warm up. As soon as you start stroking and swimming, your body warms up, you start sweating a little bit, and everything kind of balances itself out. But this water was freaking cold. I don't know if you could tell from here, but my body was actually red because of the blood rushing to my skin to try to warm me up. This thing was crazy. But regardless, I was hopped up over here. I took a thermal spark about an hour before I got there. I love doing that. It's my little secret weapon. Puts me in a good mood, gives me that energy, and it's kind of like an Excelsior light. I really enjoy it. So anyway, I was doing a couple of laps over here. My girlfriend just captured a little bit of footage of me doing some laps, took a little bit of a breather there, and just did a whole bunch of laps. And I was resting a little bit in between and hitting up the sauna, the steam room to warm up, because I'm telling you, that water was freezing. So I know I don't have the best form, but personally I love swimming. A bunch of years ago when I lost a lot of weight, swimming was my main form of cardio, and I had a pool near my house, which unfortunately I do not right now. But man, when I get an opportunity, I will always hit up the swimming pool, even if it's pricey to get in, because it's really well worth it. Alright, everybody, the moment of truth, what we've been waiting for. Time to get on the scale and see if anything actually came off. Been a bit of a rough week, but let's see if it was all worth it. And we are down a little bit, 282.6, and body fat non-existent. How about that? HighStimAce has no body fat. Well, these scales do glitch up a little bit, but as you can see, guys, yeah, it's not showing the body fat for some reason. And let's do it again just to be sure. We're gonna hop on the scale here one more time, and voila, 282.7. Okay, so I'm gonna round it off to 283. I'm gonna consider this a win. Oh, 35% body fat. Okay, so 282.7. The body fat's never super accurate anyway, but as of now, guys, I'm officially down about 2 pounds. I'm happy about this. Let's keep getting these gains, or losses in this case.